We will see top layers of a layered framework. As you can see on the screen, there are 5 layers. The first top layer is the business layer. Then we have the utility layer, then operational management, audit, balance and control layer, and finally we have the functional layer. So let's go with the layers one by one. So business layer will have the sub layers. For each business there can be one sub layer. That's why we have business 1, business 2, business 3 as the sub layers. Now we will see the layered framework one by one. So the basics for business layer, it is the principal source of the requirement and business information needed by data scientists and data engineers for processing. That means it's the basic layer in which the different users, they have different businesses, so they need information which will be useful for their business, and for each such requirement we can have one sub layer and we call it as the business layer. Then we have what can we expect in the business layer. So we should have the up-to-date organization structure chart. Then we should have the business description of the business process we are investigating, the list of subject matter experts. We should have the project plan, what is our budget is also important, functional requirement, non-functional requirement, and standards for data items. In our functional and non-functional requirement, we should also understand that what is the basic functionality which is required should be also completed, and if we have some requirements like security, reliability, that also should be covered in the non-functional requirements. Now let's see the basics of utility layer. A utility as a process is used by many data scientist projects to achieve common processing methodology. So we should find a common area in which we can store all our utilities. For each business layer, we can have many utility layers. Now, the operational management layer, it is basically concerned with designing and controlling the process chains of production, environment, and redesigning business procedures. So this layer stores what we intend to process. It is where we plan our data processing pipelines. So basically all the processing is happening in the operational management layer. Now what we need to record in this layer? First we have to record the processing stream definition and management. Then we have to record the parameters, scheduling, monitoring, communication, and alerting. So these are the 6 information that needs to be recorded for each process. Like in a process, what is the process stream definition and management? Then what are the different parameters? They can be recorded at one place, and then we can simply call that file and use it in our process. We should have a method for scheduling the process, because the slowest process will decide the overall performance of the system. Then we should have the monitoring system where the right information should be given to the right person and at the right time. And then communication between the processes is important, and wherever required we have to have the alerting process. Now the next layer is the audit, balance and control layer. So this is the area which you observe what is currently running within your data science environment. So it basically records the process execution statistics. When the process is getting executed, at that time it is going to record its execution statistics. Balancing and control is taken care. Rejects or error handlings, if it happened in the project or the process, that also is recorded, and the codes management is also done in this layer. So what is audit? Records any process that run within the environment. This information is used by data scientists and engineers to understand and plan improvements to the processing. So when we are doing the audit, at that time we can check or we can understand the process, how it runs within the environment. Then the balance. So it ensures that the ecosystem is balanced across the available processing capabilities and has the capability to top up capabilities during period of extreme processing. That means the balance between the processes can be achieved in the balance sublayer, just to ensure that all the processes are running properly. The processing on demand capability of a cloud ecosystem is highly desirable for this process, and we have to have a good balance between all the processes. Then comes the control. Controls the execution of the current active data science processes in a production ecosystem. The control elements are the combination of control elements within the data science technology stack. So individual tools plus a custom interface to control the primary workflow is taken care in the control layer. Control also ensures that when processing experience an error, at that time it should be able to ensure that the error is able to be handled properly by the ecosystem. The basics for functional layer, the main layer of programming is required here. The functional layer is the part of the ecosystem that execute the comprehensive data science, and it consists of several structures, like we have the data models, processing algorithms, and we have provisioning of infrastructure. In the data models, we are actually ensuring that different data is being handled by the appropriate data model. We should have the processing algorithm stored here, and a provisioning of the infrastructure is taken care. It also has 6 super steps. So let's see what are the super steps one by one. First super step is retrieve. Second, assess. Third, process. Fourth, transform, organize, and reports. These are the 6 super steps. Now let's see the super steps one by one. First, we'll go with the retrieve super step. This contains all the processing chains for retrieving data from the raw data lake via some structured format, because the data lake will store huge amount of data and it will be storing in the raw format. So we should have some method of extracting the data from this raw format. Then the assess super step contain all the processing chains for quality assurance and additional data enhancements. The process super step, it contains all the processing chains for building the data vault. Then we have the transform super step. The transform super step contains all the processing chains for building the warehouse. From the raw data we are extracting and we are trying to build the warehouse. Organize super step, it is used for building the data marts, so that for a particular type of requirement we'll be able to use a particular data mart. And the reports to super step, it contains the visualization, virtualization, and reporting the actionable knowledge. So whatever knowledge we have gained, this will be reported in the form of charts, so that it will be easily understood by the business process. So I hope you like this video. Now in the layered framework for high level data science and engineering, we are having 2 different types of systems, Windows and Linux. So you can download the data set that is used for data science from GitHub. The link is already given in the description. From there you download the data set. Once you have downloaded the data set, you create in the C drive, you create a folder with the name VKHCG, and inside that you extract and store the data. Now if you want to see the framework, high level framework, then you go to this folder and you see the framework. So I hope you like this video. Thank you. Thanks for watching.